You know that mysterious metal box under your sink? Every day, millions of us just flip a switch and whoosh, our food scraps disappear. But what is actually happening down there in the dark? Well, let's pull back the curtain and demystify the humble but kind of brilliant garbage disposal.
So here's the plan. We're going to start with why this thing was even invented. Then we'll take a peek inside the machine itself, see how the magic really happens, and go over the crucial do's and don'ts. After that, I'll show you how to fix a jam yourself, and we'll finish up by following that food waste on its journey from your sink all the way to a power plant.
All right, let's start at the very beginning. You might think the garbage disposal was invented just for convenience, right? But it was actually designed to solve a very specific and surprisingly huge problem. And get this, it was an architect, a guy named John W. Hamas. Back in 1927, he was designing kitchens and realized he wasn't just thinking about how they looked, he was thinking about all the garbage they produced.
And this is the scale of the problem he was looking at. A huge chunk of our household trash, up to a fifth of it, is just food. When that stuff goes to a landfill, it rots and creates methane, which is a really nasty greenhouse gas. Hamas had this brilliant idea. What if we could treat food scraps like liquid waste instead? Okay, so now let's pop the hood and take a look at the actual parts that make this machine tick.
This right here is the main arena, the grinding chamber. Everything you shove down the drain ends up in this little space. This is where all the action happens. Down at the bottom of that chamber is the shredder plate, or as some people call it, the flywheel. When you flip that switch, the motor spins this plate at an absolutely incredible speed. We're talking somewhere between 1,400 and 2,800 RPM.
Now, here is the #1 biggest misconception about garbage disposals. There are no sharp blades in there. Seriously. Instead, you have these two blunt, hammer-like things called impellers. Their job isn't to cut anything, it's to use pure centrifugal force to fling the food waste outwards, really, really fast. So if the impellers don't cut, what does? Well, they fling the food against this, the grind ring. It's a stationary, sharp ring on the outer wall of the chamber. The best way to think of it is like a cheese grater that doesn't move. The food just gets smashed against it over and over until it's completely pulverized. That's the real hero of the operation.
Okay, so we've met all the parts. Now let's put them into motion and see the whole step-by-step process that turns something like a carrot peel into tiny particles that can just wash away.
It's basically a 4-step dance. First, you need a strong flow of cold water. This is key because it keeps any fats or grease solid, so they can be chopped up instead of melting and coating your pipes. Then, the motor kicks in, creating that powerful spinning force. Third, the food gets flung against the grind ring and shredded into a pulp. And finally, the running water flushes all those tiny particles safely down the drain.
Just a quick side note here. You'll generally see two main types of disposals out there. The one most of us have is called continuous feed. It runs as long as you have the wall switch on. The other kind is batch feed, which is a little safer because it will only turn on when you put a special magnetic drain cover in place and twist it.
So now that you actually understand the mechanics, it makes it so much easier to understand how to use it properly. Let's get into the essential rules for keeping your disposal happy and, more importantly, your pipes clear. Okay, pay attention because these are the golden rules. Following these will save you a world of trouble and a very expensive call to the plumber.
So on the do list, first, always run plenty of cold water before, during, and for about 15 seconds after you're done grinding. Stick to soft food scraps. You know what's great? Citrus peels. They actually help clean and deodorize the whole unit. And if you've got something kind of big, just do it a favor and chop it into smaller pieces first. And now the big one, the don't list. Absolutely no grease, oil, or fat. It will solidify in your pipes and cause a truly nasty clog. Avoid anything super fibrous, like celery stalks or corn husks, because they can wrap around the impellers like string. Hard things like bones or avocado pits can wreck the whole mechanism. And finally, don't put in stuff that expands on water, like pasta and rice. They'll just swell up and block your pipes.
But hey, even if you do everything right, jams can still happen. The good news? You can often fix the most common ones all by yourself in just a few minutes. Okay, this is the classic. You flip the switch, and all you hear is that dreaded, low, angry electrical hum. The motor wants to turn, but something is physically stuck in there. So, what do? First, and I cannot stress this enough, turn the power off at the switch. Do not do anything else until the power is off, okay? Good.
Now, look underneath the disposal for a little socket in the very center. Take a hex wrench, it probably came with one, and just turn the motor shaft back and forth to break the jam loose. If you can't find the wrench, you can also use something like a wooden spoon handle from up top to gently nudge the impellers. Once it moves freely, press the little red reset button on the bottom, and you should be back in business.
All right, different problem. You flip the switch and nothing. Not a hum, not a click, just total silence. What's the plan now?
This is usually a really simple power issue. First, and I know this sounds obvious, but look under the sink and make sure it's actually plugged in all the way. If it is, go check your home's circuit breaker panel to see if you've tripped a breaker. If both of those are fine, find that little red reset button on the bottom of the disposal again. It has an overload protector that might have tripped. Pushing that button in often brings it right back to life.
And finally, let's zoom all the way out. When you send all those food scraps down the drain, where do they actually end up? What's the bigger environmental picture here?
Well, it really comes down to an environmental trade-off. When food waste goes in the trash can, it ends up in a landfill, producing that methane gas. When it goes down the disposal, it goes to a wastewater treatment plant. Now, that process uses more energy, sure, but a lot of modern plants can actually capture all that organic material and turn it into useful stuff, like biogas for renewable energy and even fertilizer.
So that leaves us with the big question. Is the garbage disposal an environmental problem, or is it a clever solution? Truth is, it's not a simple answer. It helps keep waste out of landfills, which is great, but it does add a bigger load to our water treatment systems. So the next time you flip that switch and hear that familiar grinding sound, you'll know not just about the cool engineering happening inside, but also about the complex journey your food waste is just beginning.